Hey, what is going on, guys? And finally, welcome back to another episode of Fantastic Nature Adventures. I know it has been like an insane amount of time. I have not uploaded a video on my channel since 2021, and I'm talking spring 2021. So it's been over a year since I've made any videos on this channel. It's definitely collected a lot of dust. It's definitely been, let's just say it's been a bit. And honestly, I do realize that there are some people that really do like my videos, and I actually have like some actual subscribers who are not just like my friends and family. So I apologize for like literally not having uploaded for so long. Briefly, I'll just basically explain. I mean, I've been in college. I've had to do jobs. I've had to do all sorts of stuff. The older I'm getting, the less I'm able to go like travel with my parents and stuff since I'm away at school. So I just really haven't had that much time to really go out and look for creatures. But one thing that's been really great is my girlfriend lives in Tennessee, which is a really, really cool place to look for animals. And actually, another reason that I haven't been able to make any videos is because my camera actually died, or not even died, it broke because it got basically rained on this past spring. So I have actually had a ton of animal encounters in the past year. I just haven't been able to either, release them or record them. So I've been in Tennessee a couple of times before, and this is the first time I've actually been able to document the creatures I've found. Last summer I found a long-tailed salamander and a bunch of slimy salamanders, which were really, really cool. I really wish I was able to get a video about those guys. And then in the spring I came out here and I was able to find a southern zigzag and then also a four-toed salamander. So some pretty cool salamander species out there too. But today you'll see I found a pretty cool species of salamander, one that's definitely been on my herp bucket list, if you want to call it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Basically, this is just, a good old kind of herping, just kind of whatever species I can find type episode. But anyway, thank you guys so much for supporting me through the years. And yes, I am finally back. I promise this time I'm really going to try to, honestly just upload as much as I can. Hopefully when I go back to school in Maine, I can find some cool creatures and, make some videos about that. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and hopefully you appreciate the creatures I find in this episode just as much as I did when I was out there in the field. This is some American giant millipede, I want to say, the species. American giant millipede. This is not a huge one. This is definitely a poisonous species, so I'm gonna wash my hands afterwards. They don't have like crazy aposematic coloration. Aposematic coloration is when they have like bright colors to kind of warn predators that they are poisonous. And it's not a super bright colored. Whoa, he's gonna climb onto the camera.
That'd be cool. Get to that.
Okay. Careful there. Not a super bright colored species, but I'm like 100% certain this is a poisonous species. Most millipedes are actually pretty toxic, so like if I ate this it would be pretty bad, but it's all good. This is I forget what they call them, but there's kind of two different kinds of millipedes. I kind of like to call them conical millipedes and flat-backed millipedes. So each of these segments on this guy kind of go around the whole thing, and then their legs are just right underneath. Whereas the flat-backed millipedes, which there is a species of flat-backed millipede, which is about the same size as this guy actually. Those, I'm hoping to find one of those and film that too. They have sort of flat segments. I know the bugs are everywhere, but they have sort of flat segments on their back. So yeah, that's kind of two big, like distinct types of millipede. And you can see all those little legs. Actually a little sharp, those legs. You can almost see the legs are like kind of like just a wave of legs moving. So cool. And for those of you that don't know, centipedes are they are carnivorous and they have less legs. Millipedes are herbivorous, completely herbivorous, and they have more legs. So there's no chance for this guy to bite me or to like envenomate me. It doesn't have any venom. It has poison if I ate it or I licked my hands, but in terms of like biting me, it cannot bite me. Here's this cute little face. They have just tiny little mandibles, which they use to, just munch on leaves and stuff like that. What a beautiful species. This is another animal you can find down here that you just cannot find up where I'm from. So I really like this species a lot. It's really beautiful, sort of silvery gray color. This individual has kind of a mark. Maybe something attacked him and then it emitted some poison.
Let me get the mark.
Get the mark before it crawls behind my leg.
Okay, well, let me
Hold on. It has a mark on the side of its like back. Honestly, what I assumed that might be was a predator that tried to bite it and then realized it had a foul tasting, tasted bad because they're poisonous and spit it out. That's kind of what I'm assuming the mark is. It could also be like a molting, but I kind of, is it molt? No, because it's got kind of like a little crack there. So I'm pretty sure that's not a molt. I think that's kind of a recent injury from probably a predator that maybe a bird pecked it or something and the bird tasted it and went, ugh, that's bad and I don't want to eat that. Because that's this animal's primary defense is just being poisonous. And their primary defense is basically just hide, and if they get found, you know, nothing's gonna kill them because when they attack it, they're gonna know it tastes bad. So there you go. There's the millipede, obviously. It curls up, you know, when it feels threatened, as it's doing right now, kind of. So, yeah, those are two amazing Tennessee creatures. But yeah, let's just keep going for now. All right, I just put over this huge log. Two little salamanders. Big, big carabid ground beetle grubs. 5 of them. Well, no, 6 of them, sorry. 6.
Okay, stop moving your hand, please.
Sorry about that. 6 big grubs. And they're just like, these guys just live under the log and they go all day.
What do they do?
They live under the log and they go. And they eat the wood and the plant matter and they get fat off of the plant matter and then they finally, when they're big enough, metamorphose into ground beetles. If I was survivalist out here,
What would you do?
I'll go. Let's go. Zigzag. I'll go. I'll get a stick like this.
Yeah.
I pierce him and I go. Alright, I'm gonna get all these guys out of here just because I don't want to crush them. They are so fat. Oh, they don't taste that good. They taste like, oh, he's pooping on me. They just
Let me see.
like,
Let's view the poop.
see that poop?
Wait, don't move.
They just taste like big ol' bottles of mud.
Have you had one before?
Assuming that's how they taste. There you go. Can you get that? You can film this movie too.
No, I got
You
it.
see them all in there?
Yeah, they're squirming.
I'm gonna put a piece of it so they don't dry out this time. That should be good.
Bring him to me.
This is what those grubs become. It's a carabid ground beetle. I forget the exact name, but it's a ground beetle species, and this red coloration is actually like freshly after they've metamorphosed into their adult instar, just from their grub phase, basically. So as soon as they've molted, they have this kind of red, very kind of soft, squishy exoskeleton. Obviously, I'm not going to hurt him, but like I can kind of feel, you can't really tell, but I can feel that it's quite actually kind of soft. But you see down the back, right in the middle between the 2 wings there, that like black stripe. Mm-hmm. This one is going to get darker and darker until it has a completely black exoskeleton. And this is a really common beetle species. But yeah, so the red is like kind of right after they've molted. The red is kind of like fresh, new molt. Mm-hmm. And then after a bit, they become black. All right. What's going on, guys? I just found a red salamander, my first one ever. Yeah, first one ever. And this is one of my favorite salamander species out here in the woods of the south. So yeah, that is not a huge one. I don't know exactly how big they get. You know, usually I do a thing where I, you know, kind of do some voiceover and post about the species. There he goes. Yeah, he looks like in pretty good condition. Not too big, of course. I'm gonna just let him crawl around in the leaf litter like that. You know, it's August out here in Tennessee right now. We haven't been finding too many salamanders. It's actually the first salamander I found on this trip, and it's kind of dry out right now. It's kind of like almost like their version of the dry season. There hasn't been too much rain, so there hasn't been too many salamanders out there. But this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful red salamander. Amazing species. And yeah, that is all I have to say for now. If I get the name wrong, I think it's either red salamander or mud salamander. If I get it wrong, I'm just gonna do the whole thing in post. But yeah, that's a beautiful species. What else can I say about this guy? They live in the south. They don't live like where I'm from, so that's why I've never found one before. This is my first one ever. Really, really beautiful species. But this is a pretty decent sized salamander for, you know, the eastern United States. You know, not tiny, not like, you know, a two-lined or a redback, but not huge like a, you know, like a tiger salamander or something like that. But I'm gonna pick him up. It's so beautiful. I love that black sort of speck on him. Come on, buddy, it's okay. I'll put him down over there. I'll be under there. So yeah, that's a red salamander. Unless it's a mud salamander, in which case I'll do a completely, just totally voice over the whole thing. Because those two species do look really similar. Okay guys, I just wanted to tell you a couple more things about the red salamander, considering that I didn't really actually know too much about this species when I found it in the field, because there was some things I just didn't know. So I want to just, you know, obviously let you guys know some interesting facts about this salamander species. So I was mentioning how I was kind of a little bit questioning whether it was a red salamander or a mud salamander, because mud salamanders are in the same genus and they look very, very similar. It's pretty difficult to tell the difference. They both have a red body and they both have those black spots all over their body. The main difference, honestly, is that red salamanders are just a little bit bigger. They also have more spots, and their spots are also a bit larger. But the biggest thing, honestly, is that they have a golden kind of a iris or like golden tinge to their eyes, whereas mud salamanders have more of a brownish tinge. Looking at the footage and also just remembering that these salamanders had a golden eye. So yeah, definitely a red salamander. So luckily I didn't get, you know, I didn't misidentify it like I did with the smooth green snake. Another thing, they get to about 7 inches in length. So the first one I found was definitely a juvenile. It was only about like 3 or 4 inches long. Also, they get darker and darker red the longer they live. So that first one was also kind of light orange in coloration. The second one I found was a little bit darker in coloration and a bit bigger. So that was definitely an adult. But yeah, they get to 7 inches in length. So they get pretty big actually. For a salamander in the eastern United States, they're a pretty good sized species. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed the beetles, and then that millipede, and then the 2 salamanders I found. Yeah, so far I've been finding some really cool creatures out here in Tennessee. Today I actually found a eastern box turtle, which was super cool. I've actually never really found one by myself in the wild. The only time I've actually found a wild one was during the class trip. So it was my first one that I ever found by myself, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm gonna just keep looking for creatures while I'm out here. I'm out here for a couple more days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And yeah, there's gonna be some more content coming actually. So stay tuned, like I said, with the eastern box turtle, and hopefully some more creatures real soon. So yeah, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Remember to give it a like if you enjoyed it. And of course, if you want to see more animal videos, please subscribe. But yeah, anyway, for now, yeah, see you guys later. And stay tuned for the next video coming soon. Bye.